Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching Fave 5 Fridays, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite 5 Pokemon gym leaders. I know it's a little random to be a Yu-Gi-Oh channel, but to talk about Pokemon. Who hasn't played Pokemon the game, though, or watched the show that is around my age? If you guys would like to have a request of a Fave 5, as long as it's appropriate, go ahead and send one in my inbox or drop one in the comments below. I'll be happy to do it. But today, we're going to be starting off at number 5, Brock. Now, why is Brock my number 5? Why is Brock there? Well, a lot of people like to say that he's black, and I totally agree with you. I mean, come on. He sells rocks. He left all of his kids at home, which are really not his kids, but still, you left 6 kids or 8 kids, however many kids. You left a whole bunch of black kids at home to follow Ash on an adventure. It didn't come back for years later, so you sound like a baby's father to me. And also, he hits on every woman out there. Brock is straight OG. And it's not really his Pokemon that really got him to this list. It's his personality. And he's probably the only person that's going to get in this top 5 because of his personality. Brock is a serious rock trainer that has Geodude and Onix. And then he has that occasional Crobat. I don't know why Crobat got in there, but he has a Crobat. Yes, he does. Number 4, Whitney. Now, Whitney probably should be higher on this list. But the biggest reason why she made this list is because of that damn Miltank. Now, I know you guys have met that one person that just could not beat that Miltank. I was one of those people. The first time I played Whitney, I had a Quilava at level 18. And I'm like, yeah, my Quilava's going to beat it. And she goes Defense Curl. I'm like, that's for losers. And she goes Rollout. And I'm like, oh. And then I finally get it down and she goes Milk Drink. And I'm like, oh, so I lost. And I thought like you lost the game, like you had to turn it off and turn it back on. It turns out you just wind up in the Pokemon Center and you're fine. But Whitney is probably, if you ask me, one of the toughest gym leaders of all time, especially at the time that you're at. Your Pokemon are typically around 18, 15 and 18. Her Pokemon, I think, is around 20. So she has an advantage on you. Not on top of that, that Miltank is a strong Pokemon. Being able to roll out, Defense Curl, and Milk Drink, oh my God, it's just too much. And then she has that Clefairy that nobody cares about. I'm serious, nobody really cares about the Clefairy. Everybody cares about the Miltank. I've never met somebody to cry over, no, that Clefairy is too strong for me. That Clefairy is too strong. It's normally the Miltank. Another thing that I would like to point out about Whitney is that she's the only person that will not immediately give you a gym badge that I can think of right now. She cries and she's like, I'm not giving you a gym bag, so you got to go talk to her friend or whatever, and then you walk back to her and she gives you the gym bags that she finished crying. She just makes every twist and turn a little bit harder to get you that badge. Damn you, Whitney. Number 3, Misty. Why is Misty on here? Misty is amazing. I really don't know what else to say. Especially if you guys played in the beginning, Misty is probably one of the toughest gym leaders if you pick Charmander. You know, with her having a Starmie, you know, that's level 20 something as well. And, you know, at the very beginning of the game, oh, keep in mind that your Charmander will never be able to beat that Starmie. So you better come with some backup Pokemon. And if you're somebody that was at my age when I got this game, your only Pokemon was Charmander. So yeah, it was probably a Charmeleon, but it wouldn't stand against anything to that Starmie. I sat there for 4 hours trying to raise a Pidgey just so I can play her. She is just too strong. And then another thing that I like about Starmie is that it can learn Thunder. Like, what kind of crap is this? It learns Thunder. Like, obviously hers doesn't know Thunder, but still, a water psychic Pokemon that can learn Thunder is pretty dope by my choice. And that's why she gets in this category. And Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, she does have a little more Pokemon than Staryu and Starmie. She has like a Golduck, I think, a Quagsire, a Lapras, and a Starmie, which is pretty good. She's moving on up. But other than that, she typically sticks with the Staryu, Starmie thing. Number 2, Sabrina. Sabrina. Why is Sabrina one of my favorites? Well, not only did it take me forever to get past her fucking stage just to battle her, it takes you like 3 years with that teleport crap. Like, I literally give up and just start walking the random teleports and hoping to God that I got to it. This is before we obviously thought of the internet and going on the internet to find an answer. I mean, come on. I was like, I don't remember. I think I was like 10 when this game came out. She also hosts one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Alakazam. Now, In the original game, Alakazam only knew Psybeam. But in later games, he learned Psychic. This guy knows Psychic. Like, Alakazam used to be one of the strongest sweepers in the game. And he knows Psychic, his strongest move. He was a pain to get past. The other Pokemon weren't that hard unless you let Mr. Mime set up. Once you let Mr. Mime set up with the light screen and the barrier and the reflect and all that other stuff, oh, prepare for a headache. Prepare for a headache, because that Alakazam can and will sweep you hard. Number 1, Blaine. Why is Blaine my favorite gym leader? Well, first of all, look at him. He's badass. He's a pimp. I swear he's a pimp. He has a hat and a cane. He looks just like my grandfather. He is a pimp. But he has some of the strongest fire Pokemon imaginable. And he doesn't really care about what you think. You know, in the first generation, he had an Arcanine, which was amazing. And I think in later generations, he had Magmar. Did he have Magmar? I know he had Ninetales. I remember going against that Ninetales. That was pretty sick. But he did have Magmar. Actually, he had Magmar in like Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, which was, you know, pretty dope. Blaine overall is the only Pokemon gym leader that can sport a lab coat and glasses and get away with it. And when he's not in his lab coat, he's a fucking boss. Ultimately, I believe Blaine helped somehow with the creation of Mew, but that's definitely for another time. Thank you guys for watching another segment of The Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I would like to know you guys' Fave 5 Pokemon trainers as well.